What is your job title?
Director of Security.
And can you tell me what that entails?
Securing and providing a safe and secure environment for our guests and our cast members.
Are you responsible for all the individuals who work in security for Walt Disney World?
No.
Do you share that responsibility with someone else?
Yes.
Who's that?
Al Rodriguez.
Have you ever been married?
No, sir.
Have you ever been arrested?
No, sir.
Never been arrested?
No, sir.
Okay. Let's turn to page 7 of what has been marked as Exhibit 3. To your deposition. I want to direct your attention to section 5. And so that it's clear for the record, I want you to read that out loud, please. What is section 5 titled?
Criminal history.
All right, now read the small print in between for me.
Have you ever been convicted or had adjudication withheld on any felony or misdemeanor or in any jurisdiction?
Okay, keep reading.
Do not include parking or speeding violations.
Keep reading.
If yes, please provide accurate and complete information below and submit certified copies of court dispositions.
Now there's an option there for you to mark yes or no. Which did you mark?
Yes.
And then if we go below that, there's like a matrix, right? It says date of arrest. Do you see that?
That's correct.
County and state, charges, and disposition. Do you see that?
Yes.
You just told me you've never been arrested. Is there a date of arrest listed on this form that you submitted to the state of Florida?
Yes.
What date is that?
1990. You asked me if I was arrested, and my response is no.
All right. Were you charged with a crime?
Objective form, same objections as before.
And by the way, I'm taking your report, your written statement that you submitted to the state of Florida, date of arrest 1990, misdemeanor. Let's go back to the form. Direct your attention back to section 5 of form. You see is that your writing, by the way, ma'am?
Yes.
And am I correct in construing this to say that the year is 1990?
That's correct.
And read out loud for the record what you wrote in parentheses right beside the year 1990.
Misdemeanor.
Do you not know that a misdemeanor is a crime?
Objective form. Answer.
Go ahead. Answer the question.
I received a citation for underage drinking in my apartment complex.
Ma'am, your answer is not responsive to my question. My narrow question is, based upon what you wrote in that box, 1990, in parentheses, misdemeanor, did you not know that a misdemeanor is a crime? Yes or no, ma'am? Yes or no?
Same objections as before.
Yes or no, ma'am? Did you not know that it was a crime?
Same objections.
It was not an arrest.
Ma'am, that's not my answer. I didn't ask you that question, ma'am. And I know that you're a smart person and you understand the question, but you're avoiding the question. I simply need a yes or no answer. Did you not know that a misdemeanor is a crime?
Objective form and move to strike the first portion of the question.
I still haven't heard the answer.
I don't know what else you want me to say.
Yes.
I've answered
or
this
no?
question.
You did not answer this question. Yes or no? Did you not know that a misdemeanor is a crime?
Objective form and asked and answered.
Did you not know? Yes or no? That it was a crime that you were charged with?
It's not a crime.
All right, and
all right.
I'd like to take a break now, given that we've had about 10 minutes of harassing the witness.
No. I have a couple more questions to follow up on before we take a break.
Okay, let the record reflect that, please.
All right. The record shall reflect that.
Would you like to take a break?
There's a few more questions that I need to ask, and then we'll be more than happy to let the witness take a break. In your words and in your thinking, can you tell me what offensive touching is to you?
Objective form. Go ahead.
You can answer the question.
Inappropriately touching an area that I don't want to be touched.
So it's just if I touch an area, and what kind of areas are you speaking about specifically?
Anything that I interpret sexual in nature.
So are you talking about if someone touches, say, your buttocks,
Yes?
your breast,
Yes?
or your genital region?
Yes.
So is it your understanding that those are the only times that someone can do an offensive touch?
Objective form. Legal conclusion.
I'm asking.
You asked to me.
Hold on. I'm asking the witness, what is your understanding? Is it your understanding, because you just told me, you answered yes, breast, buttocks, and genital areas. Is it your understanding that those are the only places that a person can be touched and for it to be offensive?
Objective form.
You can
Go
answer,
ahead.
answer the question.
Yes.
Don't you think it's proper to ask people whether or not they want to be touched first before you touch them?
Objective form. You can answer.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay. Would you say that the anti-harassment policy is an important policy?
Yes.
You think that it has to be adhered to?
Yes.
You think that violations of this policy should be taken very seriously?
Yes.
Have you ever fired someone over violating this policy? The Legacy Bank. There was food served, right?
Yes.
There were drinks, alcoholic drinks served, right?
Yes.
And you drank alcoholic, right?
Yes.
How many drinks did you have?
2 glasses of wine.
Is that it?
Yes.
And so if we talk to some of these individuals who are at the table that are listed in your report, they would be able to confirm that?
Yes.
You only had 2 drinks.
Yes.
And when did you have these 2 drinks exactly?
During the beginning of the evening when we were welcoming the recipients, and then during the course of the dinner.
Did you purchase those drinks or were they provided by the company?
They were provided by the company.
Is that typical that Walt Disney World provides alcohol to its employees at their functions?
Objective form. You can answer.
For the Legacy, yes.
For any other occasion that you're aware of?
Not all the time.
But there are times other than the Legacy that the Walt Disney World will provide alcohol free of charge to its employees?
Yes.
What are some of the other occasions?
Retirement events.
When you first saw her?
In the lobby, welcoming the recipients.
And who was she with?
Larry Book.
At any point, did you tell her that y'all needed to talk?
No.
So if she testified earlier under oath that you did, is she being dishonest?
Yes.
You never said, we need to talk.
I never said.
What did you say to her?
At which time? Can you be
When
more
you
specific?
first saw her, what did you say to her?
I said hello and welcomed them, her and Larry.
And that's it?
At the welcome, yes.
Okay. When was the next time you spoke to her?
When we were leaving the ballroom or the convention hall to go out for the group picture that Patty requested.
Was this before or after the dinner?
It was after the dinner.
So it's after you had the 2 glasses of wine?
I don't recall, sir.
Okay. Just trying to make sure that's clear for the record. Okay. So we talked earlier about the harassment policy. Do you recall that?
Yes.
And touching individuals, right? Do
Yes.
you recall that? Now, I want you to look at what we've referred to as photograph number 1. Take a good look at that. Do you see what appears to be a hand on Ms. Book's right shoulder?
Yes,
Whose hand is that?
my hand.
Now, did Miss Book tell you it was okay to touch her shoulder?
No,
Did you ask her, is it okay for me to touch you on your shoulder?
I did not.
Why not?
It's not normally something I ask people if at a celebratory event.
So, at a celebratory event, do you think it's okay to touch people without their permission?
Yes,
Oh, so does the rules say that? Does Walt Disney rules, particularly as it relates to harassment, say that it's okay to touch people without their permission at celebratory events?
Objective form, you can answer.
I greeted lots of people and hugged a lot of people and congratulated them for this prestigious opportunity.
But my question was, does the rules say it's okay to touch people without their permission?
Objective form, you can answer.
I didn't ask everybody for permission to hug them at a celebratory event.
Oh, let me ask it this way. Did you ask anyone?
I did not.
And did you hug a lot of people?
I did.
Did you touch a lot of people?
I did.
And were you congratulating Miss Book about anything?
No.
So what would be the need to hug Miss Book if your intent was to congratulate people? What were you congratulating her about?
Objective form, foundation.
You can answer the question.
I wasn't hugging Miss Book.
Well, what do you call putting your arm around someone's shoulder, standing behind them? What do you call that?
It appears that I was walking behind her and may have been saying something to somebody else, but I wasn't hugging her.
Is that what was going on in this photograph? You were walking behind her?
Yes.
Oh, so you were just passing by her. You sure that this photograph doesn't depict that you were actually embracing her?
Objective form.
You can answer the question, ma'am.
I was not embracing her.
So, now, I'm looking at this photograph. Did you ask Miss Book to take a selfie with you?
I did not.
You never did.
I never did.
So if she testifies under oath that in fact you did, is she lying?
Yes.
And tell me if you know, what possible reason she would have to make up a lie about you.
Objective form, go ahead and answer.
I do not know.
You have no idea. You've dealt with Miss Book before, haven't you?
I have.
In a professional setting.
I have.
And is it fair to say that you found her to be reliable?
I'm an objective form, you can answer.
Explain a little bit more what you mean by reliable.
Well, you can put whatever. What is your definition of reliable? Let's start there.
I would answer yes. I would consider her reliable.
Would you also answer yes to the characterization of Miss Book as being credible?
Objective form, you can answer.
No.
Okay, what about Miss Book that you found to be not credible?
These allegations.
Okay. Other than these allegations, were there any professional performance interactions that you had with her that you found her to be not credible?
I don't know. Can you be more specific regarding which incident you would be referring to?
Are there any incidents in which you interacted with her in a professional way in which you came to the conclusion that she was not credible?
Objective form, you can answer.
I would need more specifics regarding which incident. There's been several.
There are several incidents where you found her to be less than credible?
I didn't say that.
Okay, what I'm asking you specifically can you point to one incident where she was performing her job and interacting with you where you found her to be less than credible?
Not that
Objective form, go ahead.
I can recall right now.
Okay. So, but the one thing you can recall as you sit here today is that she's not credible because she's accusing you of these allegations, correct?
That's correct.
I want to go back now to the photograph, which is Exhibit 2. You testified earlier that you were just walking by when this photograph was taken. Is that, and if I'm mischaracterizing your testimony, tell me now. Is it your testimony that you were just walking by?
I don't recall exactly when this picture was taken, but we were only out in the convention center for not even 10 minutes, so it had to, without a timestamp exactly, it appears to be outside of the convention where we were all standing as a group. So it appears that I'm standing behind her.
Was your body touching the back part of her body?
No.
Are you sure about that?
Yes,
What makes you certain about that?
because I wouldn't touch her body.
But in the photograph that I'm looking at, it appears that you are touching her. So you're saying that's just the angle?
Objective form, you can answer.
You can answer the question.
I'm touching her shoulder. Maybe I misunderstood your question regarding
No, I'm
on the
asking
back
you.
of her body.
I'm specifically asking you now because as I perceive this photo, it looks like the front part of your body is touching the back part of her body.
That's
Is
not
that
how
not-
I perceive this photo.
Is that not what is going on here?
No, it's not.
So if Ms. Book testified that in fact that's what happened, would that be inaccurate?
That's correct.
Now, ma'am, if you look at this photograph, was your eyes open or closed?
They appear to be in a blink position.
How did you determine that from looking at this photograph and the blinking?
They're not open and they're not closed. It appears to be in a blink.
Do you see your eyeballs in this picture? Are you able to perceive that?
I see an open area. It appears to be a blink.
Now, I'm perceiving you as I look at you. I see your lips appear to be a certain way. As I perceive you, your lips do not appear to protrude. But I'm looking at this photograph here, ma'am, and it looks as though your lips are protruding. Do you perceive this photograph to show the same thing?
Objective form and move to strike. Go ahead.
No.
What is going on with your lips in this photograph, ma'am?
I'm either saying something to somebody, my mouth appears closed to me.
Your mouth appears to be closed to you.
Yes.
You would agree that the photograph which is the best indicator of what's going on with your mouth, right?
No,
I'm going to object to form and to the copy that's being used for the photograph. Go ahead.
Duly noted. You would agree that the photograph is the best indicator of what's going on in this situation here, correct?
Object to form. Go ahead.
No, I would consider this a horrible photograph because it appears that I'm moving.
And that makes it a horrible photograph?
Yes, it's bad lighting. It's not very...
Okay. So, and that distorts then what's going on because it's bad lighting?
It's just my perception of the...
Okay. Can you see your eyebrows in this picture?
No.
Can you see your eyelids in this picture?
Vaguely.
Can you see your nose?
Vaguely.
Can you see your upper lip?
Yes.
Can you see your bottom lip?
Yes.
Can you see your chin?
Yes.
Can you see your ears?
Yes.
Can you
I can see my ear. Sorry.
ear?
Yes.
Your left ear. Is that your left ear?
Yes, it is.
Can you see earrings dangling from your left ear?
Yes.
Can you see a necklace around your neck?
Yes.
So what's distorted about the things that we just listed that you said you can see?
Because there's movement.
Oh,
Appears
so,
to be moving behind her or maybe talking to somebody. I don't know.
so the movement is what makes it distorted. Is that your testimony?
Object to form. You can answer.
Yes.
But we agree that you had your hand on her shoulder.
Yes.
And we agree that you didn't ask her to touch, did you?
I did not ask her, yes.
And we agree further that she didn't give you permission to touch her.
Object to form. You can answer.
She asked for photos throughout the evening, so
Yeah, but if she testifies that she did not, is that a lie?
yes.
If she testified under oath that you came to her and asked her multiple times to take a selfie with her, is that a lie?
Yes, I did not ask her to take a selfie.
All right. So, ma'am, were you aware that a photograph was being taken?
Which photograph?
The the one that is the top photograph that we've previously referred to as photograph 1, were you aware that that photograph was being taken?
No, I think I stated I didn't recall this photograph.
Not that you recall this photograph, but were you aware at this time that a photograph was being taken?
I don't recall.
I'm trying to figure out why your head was turned to the side.
Objective form, you can answer.
It appears that I was talking to somebody behind her.
Oh, you were? That's what was going on? I'm looking at this photograph. Can you point out to me in this photograph where that person that you were talking to is?
Like I said, I don't recall when this picture was taken, but because I'm behind her, it appears to me that there was a bunch of people behind us here. So
where are
in
those
this
people?
area.
I'm sorry. I don't want to let you answer the question. I apologize. Go ahead.
In the other group photos, those are the same people that are in this area.
Yeah, but ma'am, what I'm asking you specifically, and you can tell me, I'm looking at the photograph. It's in front of you. That's why I gave it to you. Where are these other people that you were talking to in this photograph?
They are in the surrounding area.
Do they appear anywhere in this photograph?
They could be, somebody could be behind her.
Do you
I don't
see
know.
anybody in this photograph other than Xonia book and you?
No, I see something right here, but I don't know if this is a person's shoulder. I don't know what this is.
Right here, and just for the record, we're referring to over her right shoulder?
Correct.
Okay, and this looks like a light. Are you saying that that light image is a person?
Objective form, you can answer.
No, I'm saying the light is to the right above my head. Behind her shoulder appears to be, could be maybe somebody standing there. I don't know.
So that fuzzy image behind her shoulder, over her right shoulder, is someone standing there.
I said it could be. I don't recall this picture.
Could it be that person that you're talking to? Is that
Yes.
the person that you could be talking to?
Yes.
Is it accurate that you actually grabbed Miss Book and pulled her to you physically?
Absolutely not.
That never happened?
Never happened.
Now, how did you determine that you putting your hand on her shoulder was not going to be offensive to her? How did you determine that?
We all had our arms around one another in the course of this picture.
You see, the thing is, I only have one picture in front of you, and I'm asking you about what happened in this case. I see your hand on her shoulder. We've already agreed a couple times that it was your hand. And I'm asking you specifically, how did you determine that touching her in this way was not going to be offensive to her? I'm not talking about other people, what they were doing. I'm talking about you specifically and what was going on with this picture.
Objection asked and answered.
You can answer the question.
She did not state there was an issue.
So we're going back to, as you touch people first and then find out whether it's acceptable after the fact. Is that right? Is that how you do things?
This was a celebratory event. I hugged a lot of people this evening.
So we're going back to, when it's a celebratory event, it's okay to touch people without their permission? Is
Yes.
that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. So if is it your understanding that if a person shows up at a Disney celebratory event, they are consenting to being touched?
Objective form, you can answer.
Yes.
Okay. We'll take that answer.
Where they were at an event where her husband received a recognition award, and she felt that she was sexually harassed by Melissa.
All right. You investigated that?
Yes.
When was that?
2015.
Were you made aware that she had been drinking on the night of the awards banquet?
I heard that there was drinking going on, yes.
Did you happen to see any photographs that were produced by Ms. Book
Regarding the drinking?
regarding the encounter, the physical encounter?
Yes, I did.
Did you see one in which it appeared that Ms. Merklinger was attempting to kiss Ms. Book on the side of the face?
Yes.
Did that photograph appear to you to be that she was attempting to kiss her?
Yes.
If someone's, you saw the picture, right?
Yes, I did.
And if someone said Merklinger was not attempting to kiss Xonia, would you agree with that statement or not? That she was not trying to kiss Xonia on the side of the face?
Object to the form.
No.
Okay. All right. Now, does Disney have a policy about touching people, employees? Touching, physical touching of employees?
Yes, there's inappropriate touching is not allowed.
And what is determined to be inappropriate touching?
Invading person's personal space, placing parts of your body in another person's body without their allowing it.
So, if one Disney employee touches another Disney employee without that person's permission, is that a violation of Disney's policy?
Not always, but during the investigation, you ask questions, is this something you normally do? Some people, we have different cultures where a lot of people hug each other, and so it's like, oh, we do that all the time. And then certain situations where the person says, I've told this person before not to touch me, but they've continued to touch me.
Let's talk about, in the case of Xonia Book and Melissa Merklinger, did you ask her, did she have permission to touch Xonia?
Yes.
And what was her answer?
She said they were taking a picture, and it was one of those, a pose that they had done.
But did you ask her specifically about the kiss? Did she have permission to kiss her?
Object to the form.
You can answer the question.
I asked her, were you trying to kiss her?
And what was her response?
She said no.
And that you did not believe, correct?
No, I didn't believe that.
Okay.
I said that discipline needed to be administered in this investigation.
Did you recommend a particular kind of discipline?
Poor judgment and violation of the harassment policy.
In other words, in your estimation, you determined that she exercised poor judgment?
Yes.
And you also determined that she violated the anti-sexual harassment policy?
Yes.
All right, thank you, sir. And what was the leadership's response to those specific findings?
A memo was issued to her.
And to your knowledge, was the memo include language about sexual harassment?
I believe so.
Okay. But the memo would speak for itself.
Yeah.
Who informed you that the investigation was over?
Gina Gadaro.
Who is that?
She's the vice president of HR, Human Relations.
Does she work for Jim Bowden?
She's Jim Bowden's boss.
So, was she involved at all in the investigative process, to your knowledge?
I have no idea.
How does she contact you?
I don't recall. I don't know if she called my office. I can't remember.
What did she tell you specifically?
I'm sorry, can you be more specific?
You had a phone call. You just told me the word Gina what is her name, Godino?
Godero.
Godero, I apologize, called you and told you the investigation was over, what did she specifically say?
She asked me to report to her office.
Did she report to her office?
I did.
And what did she say when you arrived at her office?
I met with her, Peter, and Jeff, and they closed out with me.
What does that entail, ma'am?
We talked about the incident, and we had a discussion regarding awareness at events and be cautious of who's around you.
Can you spell her last name, please, Godero?
I think it's Gorderro. I would have to look it up in my phone contact list.
You said you had a conversation about awareness. What did that entail? Can you specify what that conversation was about awareness?
To be aware of your surroundings when you're at company events.
Okay, so were you given a warning of some sort?
No.
Were you given a counseling? Was that considered a counseling?
Objective form, you can answer.
That conversation that happened in the VP's office, was that considered to be a counseling?
Objective form, you can answer.
I think it would be considered a coaching, counseling, sure.
What's the difference between a coaching and a counseling?
Just how our terminology.
Is it coaching a form of discipline?
It is not.
So you told the leaders that you thought that there was some substance to Ms. Book's complaint? Is that, and don't let me put words in your mouth, but is that the essence of what you conveyed to them?
I believe that she generally felt that Melissa was trying to kiss her.
And it appeared to you in the picture that she was?
And it did look like that.
Okay. So then what happened next?
It was reviewed by my leadership, and they consulted with, so HR consulted with Jeff Villela, and then we had I think a meeting occurred between Jeff, myself, Melissa. Jeff, myself, and Melissa met at the end of the investigation.
And what was discussed in that meeting?
She received I believe she received a disciplinary memo for inappropriate conduct.
Who issued that memo?
Jeff Villela.
And was that all that was done, to your knowledge?
To my knowledge, that's what I know that was done.
She wasn't suspended?
No.
Now, sir, let's say that you had a hourly wage.
I believe there's also something was done with her. I think it was involved in her performance review. I think something was included with that too.